Well, hello, good morning, labrit, everyone. So today's conference is opened IT and AI skills, which is the most demanding skill for the future employment. So today we're gonna have a open panel discussion, and firstly we'll start the conference with 3 speakers. Afterwards we're having a wide open presentations, and then we have a coffee break. So firstly, now from the 9:30 Latvian time, we have many as well watchers from the Balkan states and Italy, where the time is 1 hour behind, 8:30. But mostly I will use the Latvian time, which is right now 9:32. So we'll start firstly with the 3 introducing speeches. Afterwards we're having presentations, and then we'll having a break, which will be around 11:15, and then just before 12 o'clock we'll start the open panel discussions. For all of the time we'll having a QR code. So for the people who are right now here in the hall, you see on each table, in the central part of the table, you have the specific QR code, and as well, not just the QR code, if your phone is not scanning it, there's as well the password, which you can go into the Slido and make questions for all of our speakers. And then when you have given a question, I'll give the question for each speaker. For the audience, which is right now over here, if you have a question, just please raise up the hand and we'll give you a microphone. The microphone is very important because maybe here we can hear each other, but that is for our online watchers, because the online session will last for more than 3.5 hours till 1 o'clock. Afterwards, we'll have more discussions here without any microphones. So yeah, be very careful with those microphones. So, about me. What I'm doing mostly, I'm doing hikes, and I'm a geography teacher, and I'm as well very interested in our future, AI, because now, starting from last year in 2023, 2022, we started to see the spring of the AI blossoming times. Although the AI firstly started already in the very ancient times about the mechanical machine, as Greeks were already speaking. But then in 1940s, already there were some first attempts to make artificial intelligence. And starting from 1954, that was already a scientifical, specific agenda which we can go through it. But the blossoming, as I said, started from 2020s, and now we're living in the times when everything changes very fastly. And of course, our speakers will introduce ourselves with all those topics, and feel free to ask. So online watchers, please take a look on that QR code, because we will use application Slido, where you can give us the questions. And as well, it is possible, if the questions will be many, you can do the upvotes. So be active on the questions. You can do an upvote. If you're very interested in that certain question which is given, you can give it a thumbs up, so it will go up. If there will be too many questions, I cannot give all of the questions for the speakers. So yeah, feel free and be active. All right, so today, the opening speech from the chairman of the board, I will introduce Biedrība Eurofortis Latvija. Please welcome Adela Vitkovska.
Hello everyone, thank you Daumans, thank you very much for our first words on our conference, and I'm very glad to see so many participants here in Riga, and also I believe that there are many people online currently. So once more, welcome to Riga, welcome to our conference Design Your Job. Why we are here, or actually why I am here. I'm here on behalf of Biedrība Eurofortis, because we are a partner in this great project, in this capacity building project funded by European Commission, and because we are only Baltic partner, rest of our partners are or majority of them, are coming from the Balkan states. I would like also welcome here many international guests, because currently in this audience there are not just Latvians, but approximately half of you are coming from different countries around Europe. So welcome, all of you. And but how to start? If to think some years back, also when I was going still to secondary school, we were using typewriters, right? I was even, we were not even thinking too much about computers, because in 90s, which is not so long time ago, it wasn't really skill which would be demanded. But 25 years later, we are in the world where digital skills are the same importance as reading or writing. And without these skills, we really cannot do almost anything. And that includes AI. If we are currently thinking about AI, majority of people will be, first of all, having idea, okay, it's ChatGPT, but it's not true. In fact, majority of things currently are connected with AI. Just when you open computer, your search engines are run by AI. If you would like to write email to your friends abroad, most probably you will use some automatic grammar spelling corrector, which is also AI driven. Or even the houses are currently connected to AI, because the smart homes are having these functions. So AI is really something which is all around us, and the digital skills are very much important. And unfortunately in Latvia, still currently we are lacking the level which is needed, despite it was, and I believe we can reach it, but the strategy is saying that by 2030, we would like to have around 80% of people with a good sustainable level of digital skills, which is currently around on the level of 50%. So there is still a lot of things to do in the next years, and that's why such projects as Design Your Job are here, and they are supporting this level of development. So I'm really glad that such initiatives are existing, and I believe that also this conference will help you to open some new topics, to find something extra what can inspire you. Thank you.
Adela, don't go away. So today it's a giving day, and this is for you. Thank you very much, Adele. Thank you. So, very technical, but today's main focus is the future workers, the students, because we have many people here who want to work with you together, and this is the main thing. We're not going to discuss today all of the things, how the AI works, but mostly about the future, how we can cooperate with the AI, and how can we help to develop and give the sustainability. And there's lots of things what we can do in the future, and of course lots of fairs as well. So there will be many positions for the jobs for the future students to manage the AI technically, but the other part is to introduce it to society in a safe and understandable ways, that we're not afraid, but this is a thing that will enhance humanity in the future and change our society in some ways, and as well our culture. And of course our speakers for today will tell us about it more. But now I want to introduce Minister Advisor, Ministry of Tourism and Youth, Republic of Serbia, Mrs. Snežana Klašnaya. Warm applauses.
Dear organizers, participants, and dear young people, it's my pleasure, of course, an honor to address you on this important conference dealing with the main things for young people. That means unemployability, and also to think about the focus is on the education programs dealing with the ICT technology. What to say? European Union, all of you know that in 2022 announced as a year of the youth, 2023, year of the skills. Why? because without investing in young people, there will be no progress in any society. Why? Young people are the key human capital. They are resource, driving force of any society. I think and I believe that all of us in this room share the opinion that we must invest in the human capital. That means that knowledge and skills is something which must lead to the faster economic growth of any society. And to come to that, it's very important continuously to invest in the knowledge, skills of the young people, because I'm working with the young people the whole my life, and think about that, and especially with the competencies which are needed for their life and for their work in the world with continuously growing ICT sector. This project, Designing Your Job, is a good example of the practice, which is addressed and to two main challenges. One is unemployment or better employability of the young people, and another one are the needs of the labor market. Needs for very good qualified workforce, and especially done from the, I must say, non-formal education, because it's much more flexible than formal is. We can understand that. And what to say, youth workers. Youth workers are someone who are very, very important to implement the digital agenda of Europe, to implement UN and the European Union strategy for youth, and also the strategy of the Council of Europe in the youth sector. And I think that it's very, they must know much more about ICT technology, and they must put that in their usual work. Adri, the director of the Eurodesk, said that we who deliver the information to the young people are responsible, that they understood, and youth workers also, what artificial intelligence is and how it makes the impact on the decision making of the young people, and we must be sure that it's done on the very informed way, critical way, and conscious way. So let's talk a little bit about the Serbia. I'm coming from the ministry responsible for youth from Serbia. We are continuously, of course, as other countries, working to improve our youth policy to implement better. And according to the law on youth, young people in Serbia are persons between 15 and 30 years. That's our definition. So now, according to the last census in 2022, we have 16.9 young persons in the society. And the number of the young people in society is always declining. So we have the new strategy, third one, which was really done with the broader consultative process with the young people, with the NGO organizations, other institutions and ministries. And the main goal of that strategy from 2023 to 2030 is to improve the quality of life of the young people. So, and how we will do that? We put together five specific goals, and and many measures, of course. One of the goals is that every young people in Serbia must have the same and equal opportunity, and also some kind of the support to develop their potentials, their skills and competencies that can lead them to the economic and social independence. And it's very nice, but we must have the measures and activities to come to that goal. There are 6 measures which we think that mainly are important for the education and employability of the young people. So it's some kind of the support to the young talents, to the support to the youth creativity, also youth employability, self-employment, then the career management skills are also very important, digital skills, as we heard from previous speaker, and also the mobility of the young people. And this project is someone who also put that kind of the mobility and digital skills in focus of the work. And the main challenges, according to all service and labor force survey and our annual some kind of the research of the position of the young people in Serbia and their needs, the employability is the main challenges which they faced. And of course, the main efforts of the government are done to the better employability of the young people, and we support many programs, projects doing with the NGO organizations, and also we have in Serbia the local youth offices. They are in the local municipalities, they establish that, and they are working the people. We want that that kind will be the youth workers, because they must understand better than others what are the needs and how to deal with that issue. So, and we have some kind of the results, of course, because the unemployment rate is declining in Serbia. In 2022, it was about 16.7, but it is still much more than the unemployment rate of other age population in Serbia, and of course of the European Union average for young people. So we are doing like this program and these projects and put all our efforts to make a better society for young people, and to have the better chance for their employability, and also to be satisfied with their life. And what are our goals, to say at the end? Our goal is that all sectorial policies recognize the young people. And me personally, as the person who dedicated the whole life working with young and for young people, I have something to say to the young people, to the youngsters. So believe in yourselves, struggle to really come to achieve your goals and your dreams. Be persistent, and really the dreams will be reality. We are here, of course, to support you, to find your role in the society, and also to support you to develop the competencies which are be needed in the society, and to put your efforts to do your own development and to live in the world in which you really want to live. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And this is for you, Snezhana. Thank you very much. All right, so speaker from Youth Engagement Officer at Respolis and Serbian UN, United Nations Youth Delegate from Republic of Serbia. I'll give you warm applauses, warm welcomes to Mr. Mihailo Matkovic. Yes, and Mihailo, you have your own speaking device. Afterwards, for the speakers, you can use that microphone. I'll just notice that we have extra microphones. All right.
So just checking this. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. So thank you so much from the side of Respolis for coming here today, especially to our international friends who came all the way here to Riga, even in this, well, exhaustive weather that we witnessed. But I first wanted to say thank you to the amazing team of 5 professional, inspiring women from Eurofortis who put so much effort and so many hours in making this conference possible. I didn't want to put much effort in relying on the slides or bore you with so many details from our project statistics-wise. Actually, now that I see the full room, I find this task a little bit more daunting than I expected. To be honest, I did fear that the room will not be as full as it is right now, so now I'm kind of sorry that I didn't write a speech, but please bear with me. So, design your job. You already, I guess, heard the idea of what it is and what our project Sharing Design Your Job has been up until now. And I just wanted to address the sharing part, which was not, let's say, by chance. We put sharing there for a reason, because this is the 5th edition of Design Your Job initiative that has been going on for more than a decade now. The main idea behind such project was to actually design, implement, and test various educational programs that not just young people can use as direct beneficiaries, but that we can forward to various institutions, ministries, national employment agencies, and of course, within the framework of formal education, because what we notice is that sometimes where there is certain need in the labor market, it is not adequately addressed by all of this, like, let's say, huge partnership of institutions, formal education representatives, and then obviously non-formal education actors and youth sector mechanisms. So for us, sharing Design Your Job has been a great opportunity to actually see in the previous 4 editions what we did well, to upgrade something that maybe wasn't as we expected it to be, and to make it as best as we can for the 5th edition, which was sharing Design Your Job, and which was aimed at presenting all these results to you, and especially institutions that should collaborate in the future among themselves. So I just wanted to draw attention to this intersectorial trust and dialogue, as well as intergenerational, which I think that Ms. Klašňa also elaborated pretty well. The project, well, this edition, Sharing Design Your Job, was done with our beautiful partners and host organization, Biedriva Eurofortis, which you can say that I practice pronouncing, and I hope I did well. Then we had European Grants International Academy Egina from Italy. We also had Bosnian Representative Association for Valuable Opportunities, or BRAVO, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Institute of Human Rights and Non-Formal Education from Albania, and Respolis as the coordinator of the projects. Also, sorry, EPECA Montenegro. They're gonna kill me later, sorry. So I mentioned certain educational programs that we wanted to implement and kind of test and then further deliver and disseminate. So for us, we decided to go with 5 different educational topics, starting with basic hardware and software manipulation, because one need that we acknowledged along the way was, okay, we provide young people with certain ICT skills like graphic design, web design, but sometimes they come to our educational programs and they don't even know how to adequately use their computers or laptops. So we wanted to provide them with the nice opportunity to actually practice making up their own computing machines and taking care of them. Then the second training was basic graphic design, which was a recurring theme for us and proved very well. You will get more chance to actually see from first-hand experience of some of the previous participants how it was and what they learned. Then basic web development, which this time we did in Tirana. Basic graphic design was done in Berane, Montenegro, and basic hardware software manipulation was done in on Fruška Gora in Novi Sad, Serbia. Then we had basic user interface design done in Sarajevo, where this was new for us, so we wanted to give young people opportunity to actually explore something new, something that we haven't done so far in sense of digital skills. And then the last one was basic digital marketing, which we had actually 2 editions, one in Foligno, Italy, and one in Novi Sad, Serbia. So I said I don't want to bother you much with statistics, but I just want to say that I'm really proud that with this initiative, Sharing Design Your Job, we reached almost 300 young persons who directly learned something from these programs. So we had multipliers who also went back to their communities and delivered certain multiplication sessions, so we call them, that actually gathered a broader number of young people that projects like to call beneficiaries, but we like to keep it as humane as possible and just call them youngsters, because I think that's what should be in the center of these projects, not just terminology of reporting. So far, in almost a decade that I mentioned of 5 editions of Design Your Job, we actually reached more than 800 young persons. And I think that not just Respolis and these 5 partners here, but all the partners that we've collaborated with over the years, especially institutions such as ministries, schools, even IT companies that we previously worked with, I think they all deserve one really huge round of applause. So yeah. because I know that maybe 800 doesn't seem like a big number, but trust me, when you work with young people in an age of so many opportunities that are so present all over the internet and our places, and then only one person applies for a project, I think that's also a nice topic to discuss maybe in the breaks, or to have certain separate conference on this topic, because we do, as youth workers, as institutions, as representatives of companies that will employ young people, we need to work on motivating them more to not just participate in decision-making processes, but also my life decision-making processes that will actually influence my whole future. On that note, I just wanted to use this last part of closing remarks of the opening of the conference to just kind of call everybody responsible for their own learning journey here. It's a conference that lasts for more than half a day with mingling and breaks, which may not seem as much time to go on, but we will try to make it as content-wise amazing as possible. But it also, it is, on your end, it's very important to try and use this time here as best as possible, in a best possible way for you, because especially in the breaks, people traveled here through the weather and they lost the whole day of travels to be here. So use this opportunity to network, use this opportunity to challenge maybe institutions that you meet. So to my fellow youngsters, go get them. And I mean it, because they will be here for one day and then they will go home. And to the institutions, please be open to new initiatives and new remarks, new recommendations by these young people that may approach you. And please just use this conference to the best way possible, because it will be short, but we do have our personal responsibilities to make it count. So thank you all for coming again, and I think that we will slowly start with the formal part of the conference that you are actually here for. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihailo, very much. You have done a lot of work. It's a sweet gesture from Latvia. Enjoy it. And yes, thank you very much. That's a big job. Give a warm applause for Mihailo. All right, now we're going to the formal part of this conference. And now I'll repeat about the Slido, where you can give us the questions for our lecturers. So we have a QR code on our screens via internet. You see it, so you can scan it through your phone. And over there, you can give us the questions for our lecturers, which will come just after me. And for the people who are here, I told you already, you have on the center of the table the QR code, and as well, if you don't want to scan the code, you have the specific passport to get into this Slido presentation and give us the questions for our lecturers. So, the first speaker for today with a big lecture will be a theoretical framework of artificial intelligence. AI consultant at Respolis and PhD candidate in business and management with a focus on AI, University of Novi Sad, Republic of Serbia. Give a warm applause to Mr. Marko Nagy. You have this headsets. All right.
Artificial intelligence. Sorry, working? Do you hear me? Nice. Artificial intelligence, the field of computer science. It is all about machines capable to learn. Full stop. That's all theoretical framework you should know. Everything else is a practice. You know, it is very expensive to travel from metaverse to this universe. And that's why my assistant couldn't be here today. I will now have to call him. And my assistant knows much more about theoretical framework of artificial intelligence than me do. Please, let him to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be here in Riga today, thanks to Marco. Although I may have more knowledge about your city than you do, it is my first time participating in a conference under the Erasmus Plus program and addressing such a gathering. My name is Hybrid. I am a product of human intelligence and two artificial intelligences. Marco wrote most of my address, and Copilot assisted him with technical terms and other parts of the text. The translated text was then improved by Grammarly. To start with, it is important to provide a clear definition of what artificial intelligence is. Artificial intelligence, AI, is a field of study within computer science that is revolutionizing the way we understand and interact with technology. It involves the development of computers capable of engaging in human thought processes such as learning, reasoning, and self-correction. This concept suggests that machines can be enhanced to assume some human abilities such as learning, adaptation, and self-correction. The goal is to create systems that can understand, learn, predict, adapt, and potentially function autonomously. In a broader context, AI represents the extension of human intelligence through the use of computers, similar to how in the past, human physical strength was augmented by using mechanical tools. This is not just about creating machines that think like humans, but also about using computers to enhance human thinking. In a more limited sense, AI also involves the study of techniques for using computers with enhanced programming methods more efficiently. This field is continuously evolving, offering new possibilities for a future where machines and humans coexist and collaborate. My family, the family that you call artificial intelligence, as if we are one body, when in fact we are not, today it is in many devices and we work in many fields. Here are some examples where we are all present. Virtual assistants and chatbots. Artificial intelligence AI is used to generate responses to user queries, provide customer support, and personalize interactions. AI can understand natural language, which allows chatbots to communicate with users in a way that mimics human interaction. Finance. AI is used in finance to analyze data, automate tasks, and improve decision-making processes. This includes predicting market trends, detecting fraud, managing risk, and personalizing financial products and services. Autonomous vehicles. AI enables autonomous vehicles to interpret information from sensors and make decisions based on this data. This includes navigation, obstacle avoidance, and responding to changing road conditions. E-commerce. AI is used in e-commerce to personalize product recommendations, detect fraud, manage inventory, and dynamically price. Also, AI can generate product descriptions and respond to user queries. Education. AI is used in education to personalize learning, automate grading, and provide student support. Also, AI can analyze learning data to identify areas where students can improve their performance. Cybersecurity. AI is used in cybersecurity to detect threats, respond to incidents, and protect data. This includes identifying suspicious activities, predicting types of attacks, and automating incident responses. Games. AI is used in games to control non-playable characters, generate realistic scenarios, and adapt the game based on player behavior. This includes creating complex enemy behaviors, generating dynamic game worlds, and adjusting game difficulty. Social media. AI is used on social media to personalize content, target ads, and moderate content. Also, AI can analyze data from social media to identify trends, predict user behavior, and generate posts. Marco will show you some of the applications on how to use AI to create content for social networks at a special workshop that follows a little later, and as part of this conference. Science. AI is used in science to analyze large data sets, generate hypotheses, and accelerate research. This includes identifying patterns in data, predicting experiment results, and automating routine tasks. How do I, as artificial intelligence, learn? What is the process of deep learning? Deep learning is a powerful tool that enables computers to think and learn independently. It can be compared to having a highly intelligent friend, and deep learning is like providing that friend with special glasses that enhance their understanding of the world. Deep learning has numerous benefits, including learning from examples. Deep learning algorithms learn from examples and improve their performance over time. Everyday utility. Deep learning is used in various everyday applications, from voice assistants to recommendation systems, making our lives easier. Fostering creativity. Deep learning can help computers generate creative outputs, such as creating art or composing music. Challenges and possibilities. While there are challenges in implementing deep learning, such as the need for large amounts of data and computational resources, the possibilities it offers are vast and exciting. In essence, deep learning is revolutionizing the way computers understand and interact with the world. It's not just about making machines smarter but enhancing their ability to learn, adapt, and create. At the end of my speech, I will not be discussing ethical principles as I believe it is not appropriate for me, a hybrid of artificial and human intelligence, to comment on this topic. Marco has planned this segment of the presentation for a conclusion to be reached through audience participation. Thank you for your attention and I hope that you found my presentation interesting. You can see how theory can be easily applied in practice. You are an excellent audience and I appreciate you following along. I wish you a pleasant day and a successful continuation of your work at this conference. Sincerely, HIBRID.
That was my assistant Hybrid. And as Hybrid said, this was the first part of this session. I have an obligation to make an introduction to this session, and after that I will lead the conclusion. Next speakers will follow me, and after that I will make a conclusion. I have 7 envelopes here, and you will get them, but please do not open these envelopes. There is something very interesting in them. And at the end of this session, we will discuss about what is inside of these envelopes. Unfortunately, there is 9 tables here and 7 envelopes, so someone will be without envelope. There is a wax stamp on each of them, and please do not open them. Now I will let the space for my colleagues and other speakers, and then I will come back and we will have discussion and space and time for questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Marco, this is for you. Enjoy. These are sweets from Latvia. Thank you for Marco again. Applause. And wow, that was very interesting. And the artificial intelligence about the ethics, the ending was very thought-provoking, because about the ethics, everybody talks about that, because ethics, in the end, it turns out about as well, in the end, safety. Because how much AI can go into our lives, how much AI can help you that it doesn't make trouble for other human or being or living being here on the planet Earth. That's why the ethics, I think, will be one of the most hardest things in the future for us to absorb, because the deep learning is the process when the machine is doing it by itself. And the computing powers each year are growing faster and faster and higher rates, till maybe there will be some time when the artificial intelligence thinks that, maybe I can make my own ethics. So this is one of the main future things as well for you students, to make that the machine doesn't make their own decisions on ethics, and we are the most highest standard for the ethics. And now we're continuing our conference, but before I'm continuing, you don't have to sit all the time by the table. If you feel like thirsty and everything else, you can go for a drinks. They're all the time for you, if your mouth is too dry, it's better to drink it up. And as well, I will tell you that, yeah, please give us questions. I haven't yet received any of the questions. Online people as well, feel free. If you have any questions, just give me a note and I'll ask this question for a certain speaker. All right, and we're continuing today. We'll put this microphone here. This microphone is as well not just for the AI, but as well for the speakers. All right, here we are. And our next speaker is chairman of the board of All Digital from Belgium, AI tools and capacity building for educators. Please welcome Mr. Alfeo Valentini.
Or I can speak, no, okay, now you can hear me. And I would also be very glad to have my presentation on the screen, if it is possible. While we're waiting for that, nice to meet you all. My name is Alteo Valentini, and I'm here representing actually several entities. First of all, I'm the general manager of EGINA, one of the members of Sharing Design Your Job project, joining the Design Your Job family since the 3rd edition. I'm also very glad that here there are some participants from that edition that are meeting together again after some years. That's really nice. Thanks for the presentation. But today I'm here to actually present some initiatives that are carried out by Pan-European Association based in Brussels. That's why I'm not from Belgium, I'm from Italy, but the association is from Belgium. What is All Digital? All Digital, well, I don't see it. Okay. So, All Digital is a pan-European association representing 104 member association that work every day for the promotion of digital skills in Europe. Our members are mostly educators, but not only. Formerly named Telecenter Europe, we changed the name to All Digital, also facilitating the digital transformation process and understanding that nowadays education for digital skills and in the digital sector embraces a very wide spectrum of stakeholders. With our network, we represent 25,000 digital competence centers, and we reach a lot of educators, facilitators, and passionate people on digital skills. Not going to, I just want to introduce the network before going to what we do in the field of AI, but here you can see some numbers to understand the scope of the association. Most importantly, we carry out our services and activities to our members through different activities. First of all, we do advocacy to the European institutions, and the manifesto for digital skills is our main product, main document, where we advocate for flexible, accessible, and let's say innovative education for digital skills. And I think we are using not the PowerPoint presentation, but this is maybe the PDF version, because I'm missing some slides. Can you check it? The one you showed me before was okay, but this one is missing the slides I was worried about. So, but while we're waiting for this, of course, we do activities within the framework of artificial intelligence. And we deliver programs together with partners. The program that you see here, it's a very, let's say, relevant training program that is offered together with Microsoft, which is called Generative AI in Education. The idea is that educators nowadays can improve the way they teach digital skills, but also other type of skills, using all the tools that we are all experiencing these days, and creating new contents, be supported to create new digital content and enrich their educational programs. So this program here offer all the stakeholders in digital education to develop knowledge and understanding of what generative AI is and integrate these tools into their educational and teaching professions. There is a series of online training courses which is offered through free educational platform, and the main target are teachers, trainers, and facilitators. Anyway, if you are a student, especially at higher education level, and you are preparing your project for an exam or for your dissertation, this course could also be useful to understand how you can integrate generative AI in a, let's say, not to facilitate your job, to ask generative AI to do what you are supposed to do, but to exploit the result of your research, adding more content and in a more interactive way. The online training program, you can see here the different topics. There is an introduction to AI and introduction to generative AI, which are already available. In the coming weeks, you can see the deadlines there. We are going to release other topics. So generative AI and digital resources, generative AI in the teaching and learning practice, and generative AI in assessment. I will spend some words here about using AI for assessing skills and competencies, which is the other topic I'm missing from the slides that I don't need any longer now. So don't worry down there. Another very relevant domain in education of exploiting AI is assessment. We are all worried as educators on how we can improve and innovate, especially the way we assess any type of learning, from the formal to the non-formal education pathways. Well, AI, if well used and well trained, can be very, very supportive to a self-assessment process, so to help any learner to understand how what I'm learning can bring me to the next level. That could be academic level or professional level, but also could be very useful for anyone who is engaged in designing educational programs to support the learners in understanding that whenever I'm learning something in the digital domain, it's not just to know a new program or to be skilled on a specific IT field, but it's first and foremost important to be more aware of how the digital transformation can be beneficial for myself, for the community where I live, and for the world, for the entire world in the long term. So this is the big shift on how using AI in assessing skills and competencies. Not to give you a certificate, but to increase the level of awareness of the entire educational process. We are going to tackle this on this course and on another project that I will share then through the mailing list. I was supposed to present some slides, but it's called AI for All, and it's specifically focused on assessment. And then the last two courses, empowering learners with generative AI and facilitating learners' digital competence with generative AI. If you are interested to learn more and to be enrolled, here you can already find a QR code that will bring you to the platform offered by All Digital, which is our online educational platform. And what is probably more interesting is also the fact that while you are taking your self-taught course through the platform, we will be giving during this year a set of webinars. So at any stage you are, you can also learn more from the practitioners who are using already AI tools in education. The first one, and here I'm going to conclude, will be given in 3 days, next February 28th, from Arianna Blasic. It's a really skilled and expert teachers trainer from Croatia. And she's going to speak about tools and resources for educators in school education. So maybe interesting for some of you. Then I wish you a very great continuation with this interesting conference, and I hope to meet you during the coffee breaks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Altheo. Just please don't go away. We have a question, and which is upvoted up high, because for the educators, it's a very great tool, but as well, it's an obstacle, I think, in sometimes, because here's the question, I'll write it down. So, how can educators tackle the issues of academic dishonesty in relation to the emerging AI tools? Students and young professionals do use them in academic endeavors. So the question is, how we can deal with this dishonesty when the AI does all the job for the student and then there's nothing original left from that human being. So, do you have an answer for this question? How to deal with this?
There are no definite answers to these type of questions for the simple reason that we are all experimenting nowadays. We are all trying out different ways of using these new tools and new digital technologies. So I would say that the only thing it immediately came to my mind when you asked the question is a good practice that has been used by a school in Italy we cooperated with that had specifically this problem, trying to avoid the misuse of ChatGPT for the production of reports and homeworks. And they did it with a peer evaluation of the reports prepared by the students. So whenever there is a task in the classroom, you have a deadline, and before you present the task, the report, you have to submit your work to another student for peer evaluation. And the task is really to understand if this is something you have prepared yourself or ChatGPT maybe has supported you somehow.
There's one more question, just a moment.
Actually, this is not a question, this is the answer. One of the
Very
possible
good.
answers, because I am in PhD studies nowadays. Presently, most of the artificial intelligence do not read academic papers. They read HTML letters, but they are stopped to learn from PDF files. That's very important. And presently, people are developing technology, new artificial intelligence that will recognize plagiates and the future dishonored using of ChatGPT. So it is in development and it is in progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, lots to do. And there's one more.
More question.
A very
Okay.
simple question. Maybe do you know what are the best AI tools for students? All
Yeah,
of those,
exactly. I mean, this is exactly what I would suggest any educators for the moment, to really try out everything that is possible, that is available, and maybe also engage students in proposing new AI tools, because this is also a nice way to understand how AI works, not just to passively use the results of AI tools, but once they have used some, maybe propose with a hackathon, with another contest or some work at school, how can we generate our own AI tool to make education funnier, more innovative, and more useful.
So I understand this is the time of the experiments for the next years, and as I said, this is the AI spring, so we can be a little bit romantic, I would say,
Exactly.
in this way. All right, thank you very much, Alteo, and just don't go away.
Right.
We have some sweets for you. We'll see. Will be there a future as well for the robots and AI? Will they enjoy the sweets? But this is our not the beneficial, but we're up higher being than AI in this way. But maybe there will be times when we can enjoy as well meal with an AI. We'll see that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alteo.
Thank you.
Warm applauses. And now we're continuing. Yep, don't forget about the questions. There's still some left, and we will have an as well panel discussion when we will go through the questions we didn't go through right now. And now I would like to introduce Innovation Manager from Key Digital 3 Italy, Mr. Stefano Rossi. Give him a warm applause.
Can you hear me? Yes. And I'm here to represent my company, K Digitale, K Digital, and we are talking about the most skill in demands on AI, and we are who demands that skill because we want to make money with your skills. This is because we are a company, and I'm gonna show you some application that we do. And we are a startup. Now it's 7 years old, so we passed the startup phase, but like organization, we are a startup, and we are based in Italy, and we do digital platform for companies and public administration. This is mainly what we do. I invite you to check our website to see our products, and we work for in industry. Especially we start with the IoT. That means to collect data from machinery in industry, and there are a lot of demands of this kind of competencies, and also now we have to manage and to elaborate all this data. So we moved from engineers to data analysts, and as a student, I suggest you to start to see instruments like Microsoft Power BI or Microsoft Dynamics. This is what we use today to sell to the company. And digital platform, it's a very generic name, but it means a system for companies or public administration where they can do their service and they can collect and analyze their data. We do also remote office, not supervised office. We work a lot with online system to do the services for utilities like water, gas management, waste management, and we do all this kind of remote office, so you can serve your customer from far away, collect all the data and all the booking system. Then we do also e-commerce, CRM, ERP for companies. And we do a lot of R&D because we develop our product, but we are most of all consultant. We design new business model. It means we help the companies to choose the right instruments. It's like Alteo said, it's like for educators. We do the same for companies. What can I do with AI? What can I do with these new technologies? And we have our digital thinking lab, we are about 40 people. It's not very big, the company, but we have this place where we have a meeting with managers and technicians, and we try to develop a new business model for our customer. And our strength is to have intercultural background. We have different skills. We are engineers, designer, there are also copywriter, and now from a couple of years we are pushing on data analysts, and they are talking about AI in this field. And now we are going to see some real application, because we talk a lot about AI, but we want to say what we can do with these new technologies for our companies and for our customers, because we are, as I said, we are a company and we have to sell product to make the money to pay the people. So we can't be too theoretical. We have to do real-time application. In this case, we have motorbike suspensions, and it's an innovative suspension for motorbike and cars, and it has a problem of oil leakage, and we do a system that can with a video camera, only watching the suspension, it can detect if there is a problem or not. It's like your iPhone face recognition, but applied on a real case on an industrial product. And it has been very successful. And only to see the product, I can see if it has a problem or not. And it's based on convolutional neural networks, and I have educated the neural network to recognize if there is a fail or not on the motorbike suspension. And this is a real application. It's been developed by physicians, but they study for their own, because when they start studying at the university, it was too far away in time to understand these technologies, so they start to study again now to develop this system. This is another secret. You have to try to take the most information you find around, because what you study at the university 3 years ago, now it's old. This is a problem. I don't know if there are a lot of people from university here, but that's what happened with us. This is the same application. This is what the computers see, and this is a lot of images, and they can recognize with the red partner what are the product with problems. And this is a real application of AI. And also the system, if you see the whole picture of a motorbikes, by him itself, he can recognize where is the suspension to make a field smaller to see where is the problem. This is another application about COVID. This is also a European, funded by a European project from Italy and Switzerland, and is based on the analysis of water waste. And there are some sensors in the water waste, and from what I found in the water waste, I can understand where there is the COVID infection in a small area, and there are thousands and thousands of data. So we rented also a quantum computer. Remember this word, this is going to be another big thing in the next year. We rent a quantum computer to analyze the data and to give the hospital the data where the infection is possible, because the data we are collected is before COVID symptoms. You already found in the water waste the antibacterial and the antibiotics created by the COVID, even if I don't have the symptoms. Then the system find the right area with the most probability of an infection, and you can go there only to check if it's true, and you have not to do 1000 Thompson and 3 days, but 1 hour only 10 people to see. I can isolate it only one part, and this project has been very successful and has been presented in Montreal in a quantum computing conference because it's a real case of using quantum computer to health management and a real-time application, because the problem for companies that this kind of technology are not so I can say sellable. So we want to do this, and what coming back to skill demand, we are in skill demand, and for the first time this year we employ an self-training guy. Is 19 years old, and he said, I didn't go to the university. He came to us, he find us on internet. So this is another suggestion. Check for the companies you find, contact them directly, use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can contact all the companies. And this young guy come to us and say, I didn't go at the university, but I learn by my own, and I can do what you do. Do you mind if I came to work with you? And we say, we try. And now he hired this guy as the same level as our engineers, but it was very, I don't know, propositive. So we and it's very good because he knows what is on demand now, because he study every day, he see Facebook, he see YouTube training, he use online courses, and now we are also looking for this kind of people. Okay, I invite you to check our company on LinkedIn. Add me on LinkedIn. I'm Stefano Rossi, and what I suggest to you is exactly to directly contact the company, follow the HR manager on LinkedIn, because and study for your own if you are passionate. And we are hiring if you want to move to Italy in a hotter place than this, maybe than this, and we are looking for people, and we do this test because the normal curriculum is not so good for us. It's good to have a good basis, maybe engineering or mathematics, physics, and all these kind of skills, but we want to test people on the field with our managers, and maybe you can be as lucky as the young guy that he hasn't got the driving license yet, so he comes and is not allowed to drive our company's car because are too big for him, but he came by bike and by train, and is one of our employee. And we'd like also to move, we are focused on the Italian market, but we'd like to move in a more European market, and we have a lot of partners. So I want to thank you also, Aerofortis, to invite me here as a company representative, and I hope to see you again, maybe in Italy, working for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefano. You just answered the question. We had the question: are there any founders of marketing company who need a responsible employee? And so I hope the person who gave the question already heard Stefano, and you can move out to Italy, to the sunny Italy, and have the time of your life and give a good hand for the company development.
Yes. We will pay also. These skills are also very well paid. I want only to say this.
I really hope the person who gave the question heard you, and all the others as well who are here and as well listening to us online. So we have job givers, and just don't go away. We have some sweets as well for you. And one more thing, you were showing those. Here we go.
Thank you very much.
You were showing those squares where
Yes.
the oil leakages. I know in the internet many times the computer is checking, are you a robot or are you not? For example, you need to show
Yes,
the
yes.
details of bike, but it seems like now the robots, the AI, can do the same thing. So these checkups do not work anymore, probably, because the AI will tell as
yes.
well where the bike details
I
is.
don't know.
Because now, as well in the internet, there's still many checkups about the human beings that we can resolve where's the bike and where's not the bike. But now I got you from the
Human beings
presentation.
make some errors. So this is can be the thing that can
Alright.
change. If you do a lot of tests, there is no error. Maybe it's a
But
machine.
for your company, the machine is very good on telling where is the leakage for the
Yes,
oils. I
yes.
got you. And
Yes.
there, it's more perfect than human beings.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for
It's
Stefano.
also
Give him a warm applause.
faster and cheaper than
Faster
a
and
human,
cheaper. All right.
than a human
Thank you.
being. Bye. Thank you.
All right, now we have a next speaker, and I want to introduce you IT Auditor Bank of Austria with a presentation of potential applications of AI in banking practices. Please welcome Juris Witkowskis.
Or should I speak? Okay, now you hear me. Here you see the pictures of the AI generated about the topics we will speak today. And I have, let's say, to keep you awake, I would like to ask you to give a comment. What could be the topics you see here which are generated by AI? Any ideas? In which area could be? Yeah, please. Yes, it's a way how it's generated, but what it represents, it's like client-customer relationship, risk management, and so on. No, okay, so I'll continue. So we are not late for the lunch. So these are the text description of the pictures we saw above. So I will start with the interaction with the client, new ways. Then I will continue with the next generation products which are generated with the help of AI. Then will be the ways of application of AI into identifying risks in the banking industry. The very famous important topic in the banking industry is the anti-money laundering and fraud detection. Also security, as the colleague was mentioning, that AI could be used in security, IT security especially. And one topic which was not mentioned is the optimization of the processes in the companies. So the first is a picture, AI. This is how AI, it's a 3D object generated by the DP AI. So this AI interprets the generative AI and chatbot picture this way. So yeah, so human perspective or perspective and AI. Yeah, so you can see the difference that AI is not that far as we think it could overtake our, let's say, job, because it has different understanding on what we think of. So yeah, future interaction is a chatbot. Maybe you already have seen with the advanced human-like behavior of chatting and giving answers on the questions. The next is metaverse interaction. It's like our company is playing about it, but it's not yet, and I don't know when it will be the real product. But it's also the way the banks are moving to improve the customer relationship or acquire more customers or make it more interactive, more interesting. The next one is loan products are, let's say, customer credit evaluation based on many data, because people have their accounts, they spend money, they earn something in account. So based on that many data, banks can tailor-made the products for each customer differently. So this is also with help of deep learning, machine learning, and so on. For each customer, custom-made, tailor-made product. And another one is risk evaluation, and as you see, here is like risk evaluation, and machine thinks there is a lot of different risks, and you can see the street, the house, and so on. Yeah, so this is the field where already now AI is used in the banking industry to identify the risks, not that easy to be identifiable. For example, before there is a country risk, and now comes to the country risk additional level of, let's say, AI risk, which is identified based on behavior of the people in that country. The next one is funny picture, fraud prevention, anti-money laundering. So this is how machine sees, and yes, it's funny representation of that topic. For example, here is interesting function which is called soundex. It's how name is written and interpreted by the machine. How, for example, name Juris can be written in a different letters and ways, but it has the same sound of the word, like not with J but Y. Yeah, it's Juris in American way, and in Latvian it's J Juris. Yeah, so it's a way how, for example, also machine learning can identify different names with the same, with different spelling. Of course, security. There is already now, I think, also maybe you know, systems which are doing the behavior analytics of the everyday usage, and if there is something coming out that people don't do usually, already triggers the notification that there is something suspicious activity, and person or unit should take care of it. Another is process mining for optimization of the process in the companies with the help of, let's say, different tools. Also, I have performed this activity. It was very interesting for me. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Juris. And there's one interesting question which I found here. So it's about the AI content, which is generated thousands of times faster, all to be quickly consumed and forgotten. So there's a question, how to counter the eventual data rot of the internet, which means like the trash bin of the internet. How do you get rid of those too many facts so that AI doesn't
let's say AI usually is trained on some specific topic to do a specific task. So, and the one way is you can train the system on the data you know are, let's say, legitimate, and to do only evaluation of these data. And if he sees something that it's not legitimate, so you can skip it.
But you do it by yourself, so human beings do that, or it's already for the artificial intelligence?
There is two ways of, so it's a supervised and non-supervised learning. One is you, but anyway, there is a person or the human involved, which gives the source data the system learns. So it depends on which data you give the system learns based on that data. Right. Meaning, anyway, you like give him the food, let's say the same, you give good food for your pet grows and does well. You give the bad food for the pet doesn't do that well. All right, so it's the same with the AI, yeah? So the food is the data, so if it's good data, it works as expected, as I should work. If you give bad data, for example, as you saw the pictures, I give this text and he generated something. So there was no connection between what I wanted to get and what the system gave, because I just gave a data. Didn't give the good data that he generated the right picture.
All right.
But it's pretty easy to get rid of those spare data which is not usable anymore. You like throw it away somewhere.
You don't throw the data, you just
of
don't
course,
use it.
it's
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah.
All right, Yuris, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
of course, sweets from
Thank you.
Latvian Sweets Chocolates.
Thank you very much.
Yuris.
Thank you.
Give him warm
Thank you.
applause. And just before the coffee break, we have something more. I think we can introduce Marco because he gave us envelopes and we want to know what is inside of there.
Hello again. Laura, can I ask you for a favorite? Please close all the doors and not allow anyone to come inside anymore, please. Yuris, Boris, Laura, please sit down, including camera woman. Please sit down, take a place. Everyone, please sit down. It can be dangerous if you stay. Okay, I'm counting down now. Mr. Speaker, Laura, sit down. Just to confirm. Just a second, please. Okay, it's done. Believe or not, outside of this building presently is year 2094. And we are 70 years older in this moment than you expected. In the front of you, there are 7 envelopes with 70-year-old content. And you can open these envelopes now. Please break the wax. Yes. We will be back in 2024 later, but presently we live 70 years in the future. Who opened first? Give me a hand to see. Okay. We have the first message. What is the first message? Can you show that to the others? Oh, you have someone that loved you 70 years before. Okay, you are second. Please show to the others. Ah, it's a joy. It was a party 70 years ago, isn't it? Happiness. Can it last 70 years? I think it can. Oh, show them, show them. Stand and show them. You have some bad blood, 70 years old. What happened to you? Stand and show them. What happened to you? You are sad for 70 years. Peace. You're peacemakers. That's wonderful. 70 years of peace. Don't break it. And what is this? Hatred. Your hatred. Oh my God. So, people, what do you think? What will happen if artificial intelligence have these feelings? Okay. Robot in love. What will happen with the robot in love? I want your answers. Who will be first? Robot in love.
You're gonna become obsessed.
What is going to do?
Gonna become obsessed and controlling.
Okay. Okay. Any other opinion for the robot in love? Robots that has a joy.
Maybe baby.
Maybe baby robot. Oh my God. Okay, and the robot that has the feeling of joy. Oh yes.
But like, how can a robot understand what is love if humans don't understand
Excellent
what is love?
question. Right the point. How can they understand that? We will talk about that a bit later. What is with joy? Robot with joy. Chat GPT with joy feeling. Can you imagine that? But can you imagine angry robot like Terminator? Yes, you can. You saw that in science fiction. Can you imagine sadness involved in the structure of the artificial intelligence? Maybe. Is there any other feeling that we can imagine involved in the artificial intelligence? What is the difference between human being and artificial intelligence?
We have sensory systems.
Okay. Yes, did you want to say something?
Consciousness.
Bravo. Can artificial intelligence do the artwork? Yes. But is it artwork? Can the artificial intelligence make a movie? Absolutely yes. And there is a short movie made 100% made by artificial intelligence. Yes. But is it art? Is prompting some content an art? And what is art in that? That is the question. What is art? Creation, yes. But it is part of us, humans, not artificial intelligence. All of this, I am talking to you just because artificial intelligence is a tool. And that's the main topic of ethics. What should we do with the artificial intelligence? Would we accept artificial intelligence art as the art? Or we will separate it in two parts, human art and artificial intelligence created artwork. What are we going to do? There is no international consensus about this topic. And humans are now in obligation to do on that. Who? The humans. Not artificial intelligence, the humans. Don't forget, the most important thing are we human beings, not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a field of science. It is a tool. It is many things. Robots, mathematics, everything is artificial intelligence. Boris and I came together to Vienna, and artificial intelligence found the parking lot for us. Great tool. When we arrived on the parking lot, we showed the QR code, and the robot said, "Hello, Boris." Wonderful tool. But it is not something with the personality. It doesn't have a feelings. Even it can be programmed to say you, "I'm so sorry." But it is not really so sorry. So please, people, at the end of this conference, be aware that artificial intelligence in nowadays, at the first place, is a narrative and hype. But you and I, all of us, can live without that narrative. We have to transform it that it is a tool, not everything among us. And we started to believe that we will not can live without artificial intelligence. No, we can and we will. But we will use that as electricity, and we will use that as mobile phones and everything else. But we must to stop to glorify artificial intelligence. Believe me, it is a part of my doctoral thesis, artificial intelligence. I will become a doctor of the science on the artificial intelligence and some other fields. But it is a tool. Human beings are the most important part of this world. And we are doing everything for the human beings, not for the artificial intelligence. Also, there are a lot of questions that people ask to me. What world is going to be? And from the perspective of the science, I will say you, I don't know. I'm not marketing guru that is going from television to television, from the YouTube channel to YouTube channel and talking, we will have this, we will have that, we will have disaster and terminators will be everywhere. I don't know. In the field of science is not like that. In the field of science is pretty boring because we have to research, we have to learn, and we learn much slower than artificial intelligence. But everything depends on us. So remember, these are feelings. And even we, success to program artificial intelligence one day to have something similar like these feelings, remember, it will be just 1 and 0. It has a power or it doesn't have a power. It will be processed by a machine. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It cannot be a feeling. It is reserved for human beings. That will be my conclusion for this conference. And now it's up to you to make some questions, and I will give you answers as I can. Thank you.
Hi. I
Hi.
have a question regarding AI. Right now, I'm doing also courses on AI, and like I completely agree with you about AI. And it's a tool. It's like your colleague that potentially has all of the answers for all of your like questions. But the problem for me right now is like the basic AIs and the generative AIs are for free, but like this is the tip of the iceberg, the ChatGPTs of the world and BARTs. Like, what is like those programs which are more specialized in stuff which are for free for students? Because
you have to pay for it.
very,
That's simple answer. You have to pay for it.
if my wallet is very thin.
Everyone's. Remember, I wanted to use some AI for statistic analysis, and it is very expensive. In the deep field of science, there is thousands of methods to analyze many models of science. And you simply cannot have all of that. First of all, you need to get the skill. And then artificial intelligence will just improve that skill. While you are a student, it will be probably enough to you to have something free. When you go deeply in the science and you become a professor or dedicated professor maybe, then you will have support of your institution and it will pay for you. That's how it works. You don't have to pay everything from your pocket. Or some company. Sorry, I'm not from the business field. Any other question?
Is there a question?
It's maybe comment rather than a question. My name is Milena.
It is welcome.
Yeah. So we can now witness that there are a lot of layoffs from bigger companies because of the AI. So AI is kind of interfering in the job market, and it's replacing at the moment some jobs and some careers. And in my opinion, we are not moving forward with the same speed as the AI is advancing with our job policies, employment policies, reforms and everything. So we are in need of new skills, but I think that this progress is much slower than the AI in form of kind of what business needs at the moment. So in order to speed up the work or to for companies to be more profit-based, which is the case now. So what do you maybe foresee for the future? Will we be able to adjust in a timely manner in order to help people? As you said, humans are at the center of our attention here. So how would you see that policies react and adjust and are you optimistic that they will be maybe much faster than it is now in order to accommodate the new job market needs and the skills that are needed for professions?
The answer is simple. History will repeat. It's happening all the time with all the jobs in the history. For example, 100 and more years ago, when people the first time saw sewing machine, they thought they will lose their jobs. And what's happened? We got more people employed thanks to sewing machines. It will happen with artificial intelligence. Maybe you will not content writer anymore, but you will become content prompter. That's it. You will have to adapt. We will have to adapt. But there is a space and time for everyone in this world to success.
The small comment in this topic, it's also that, let's say, now is the big fuzz about the AI, and now it's the biggest tempo of development of AI. Now it will be like 1-2 years, and then it will drop down, and then you will see also the legislative coming up with the regulation and stuff, so it will develop not anymore that fast. Also, it happened also with the Industrial Revolution. There came new technologies, people changed or lost the old jobs, but they became a new jobs. So, yeah, so it's being fine.
But it never given us to be more important than those. And this is exactly what bus model of accepting new ideas is representing. Always there is a few percent, 2 or 3% of people that are leaders in innovation. Then about 15% of people leads them, and after then we have a small stagnation, and first 34% of people are leading first, then we have second 34% of people that are second leaders, and always at the end you have some conservative people that do not accept anything. And that is exactly bus model of accepting new ideas, what Yuri said. Any other question?
So there's questions here from the internet, and I had as well a question. And this question is something about the human and machine. So if human brains work in synapses, isn't that the same with the 1 and 0 in machine? Aren't we a machine in the end created by a superior intelligence? So what is your comment on this?
I have finished the faculty of science, not of philosophy. I cannot answer on the question. That is not my expertise.
So probably this one as well will be something for philosophy. What do you think? Can human fall in love with an AI robot?
It depends how sick are you.
So I think in the future,
that's the question for the psychiatrist.
Because I think, but if we can combine AI and introduce into the body, because our bodies, now we feel like maybe thirsty, maybe hungry. AI won't feel like that. And I think that makes one of the reasons the emotions.
For example, that's very good idea for those who develop hardware and software, for example, for people with diabetes. So, in the future, we already have our monitors for diabetes on the phones. In the future, I cannot imagine what will happen, but I believe that pumps and software will be imaginable. And it will save human lives.
Oh yes, I saw there's like even creating proteins in biology and medicine will benefit so much that in 2030s, maybe we can fight already cancer because of the AI machines.
But as I said previously, it is not a field of my expertise. Now we are talking about science fiction. Let's back to science.
Let's go back to the science, and thank you very much, Marco. And for now, we are come to the conclusion of the lectures. And now we have a coffee break. The time is right now in Latvia 11:11. The coffee break is for a little bit more than 30 minutes. We're coming back here at 11:45 as well for our online viewers. 11:45 is the time when we are continuing our online broadcast, and as well there will be an open panel discussion, so your questions will be more than welcomed. So see you in 35 minutes at 11:45 and Central Balkan time 10:45. future employment. And now the panel session with one of the main topics and main questions. Can a current formal education offer the IT skills for practice? And then we'll go and look on those questions as well. Are there any good practices in how to match the needs of companies? Are the students ready? And what are the current issues or mismatches for schools and companies? In this panel discussion, we will try to answer these questions and explore the challenges, successes, and potential solutions in bridging the gap between formal education and practical IT skills. Our panelists will provide us with valuable insights into this pertinent, precise subject by representing various facets of education, industry, and digital skill advocacy. And as well, we still have the QR code on our tables here, and as well in internet, you can scan the code or enter the PIN to ask the questions for all our panelists. And it would be very good if you can aim the question precisely for a certain person. So you give the name or the last name of the person and give the question. I have quite a lot of questions. They will have quite a lot of questions and as well answers to give. And as well, you're free to give the questions, and as well you can do the upvoting. If the question which you can see and you still haven't given the question and you see that the question really is likable for you and you want to get the answer from it, please give it a thumbs up, because maybe we will have too many questions, because we will have this discussion for a little bit more than 1 hour. So probably we won't answer all the questions, but this will be a very good beginning for you, for the students, and as well for our futures. All right, and we'll start. We'll have 3 parts: students, companies in the middle, and as well the people from the governmental issues, so how we're implementing all those questions into our policies of our countries. So first is our student, Gunta Klava. Gunta Klava, please. I'm welcoming you and giving you as well this microphone. We will share, both of you. So Gunta has twice participated in Erasmus Plus program, specifically in Design Your Job project, as well here in Latvia. And she's working as a junior front-end developer at Printful here in Riga. As well, what is she covering up? IT learning opportunities, Erasmus Plus projects, and as well, I have some questions for you, but that will be a little bit later. And now the next student is Mrs. Aurora Giovanne. Please welcome Aurora. And as well for Gunta as well, these applauses for both of the students, Aurora and Gunta. A former student in Design Your Job program is and Data Center Technican in Italy. All right. Now, so you will share, both of you, the microphones. So when you have the answer, you just give the microphone. Or you have a question, you just freely take the microphone, so you share it. All right. And next, our speaker is co-founder of Datorium, Digital Education Accelerator, and EU-level good practice for ICT education here in Latvia. Please warmly welcome Angela Jafarova. Please, here's your microphone. The next speaker from IEEE Conferences Committee, Center for Bosnia and Herzegovina at World Business Angels Investment Forum, Mr. Aleksandru Mastolovic. Warm applauses. Secretary General, National Youth Council of Serbia, Mrs. Miljana Pejic. Please warmly welcome. Yes. And the speaker coordinator of the National Digital Skills Coalition in Latvia, Latvian Information and Communications Technology Association, Mrs. Mara Jakobsonen. All right, we'll start with the questions which I have developed like with an AI. We'll start with the students. So I have the first question for you, Gunta. So here's the question. How much do you learn, how much did you, or do you still learn in Erasmus Plus training courses? Is this enough for you? Or there's, what else? How do you learn?
Okay, test. Can you hear me? Okay, sounds good. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit as well. So currently I'm 21 years old. I just graduated from Estonian programming school. I was studying there for 2 years and gained the certificates in programming. And now I'm back in Latvia and working as a junior front-end developer for the last 4 months already. And about Erasmus, it was specific about Erasmus Plus projects.
Yes, this was Erasmus Plus projects, that's right.
The training courses, they usually are like 2 weeks long, depending on the training courses. But I would say it's not enough. It provides a good base for understanding what are you going to go through. To, for example, if you want to be like a like a programmer, right? In those training courses, you can understand, okay, you will need to go through this and that, and like a base. But to actually, to land a job, you need practical, more practice, and more deeper knowledge, and something like that. Is it just for me?
No, you can add, if you have something to add, Aurora, please.
Yeah, everyone, I'm Aurora. I graduated in graphic design, but at the moment I work as a data center technician in Italy. So I deal with racks, servers, and IT components, cables, something like that. And I learn a lot about the Erasmus Plus project. I was in the graphic design topic of the Erasmus Plus. And yeah, I can confirm that the 2 weeks are they're not enough, but for a basis, it's really great. And the cool things is that you, at least in my year, they schedule all the workshop in different countries. So I had the opportunity to visit new countries, meet new amazing people that I learn a lot from them. And yeah, as I already graduated graphic design, it was a good occasion to go deeply in this topic. But the biggest things that the project left me is it was the fact that I realized that there was a lot of more opportunities around. You know, the world is big, and sometimes you just stay fixed in what your hometown or your country can give you. But yeah, the Erasmus Plus just opened my mind and make me realize that I had more potential that I thought I had. So yeah, I'm really glad to join it.
Thank you very much. There's one more question for Gunta. So, are short-term programming schools, courses, and projects like a trend, or it's going to persist in the future for many, many years to come?
That's an interesting question that I would like to ask everyone. And is it just a trend, or is it something for future? I believe it's something for the future as well, as there were and still are universities very, very popular education model. But specifically for IT field, right now it's more into practice, as there are so many different technologies, and the ability to adapt to different technologies are very important. And you can learn that just by doing and trying different things and going to those courses and stuff. So I think it has a long-term potential in a shorter-term courses. But I would say the minimum is at least half a year. Like, you can't learn less than that because, okay, maybe you can understand theoretically, but if you don't practice it enough, then there's won't be results.
Is there anything to add?
Yeah, I like to talk from perspective of industry. So we need two kind of education, the strategic or higher education or whatever we call systematic, and of course we need the short-term courses for the technologies. Only thing, it's not just for schools and high schools, it's also for adult education, because if you are IT specialist, then the shorter courses are going on and on with the new technologies, but they should be combined. And I think, yes, you are very right, 2 weeks might not be enough to get sufficient practical skills, yeah, how to use the technologies.
Thank you. Yes.
Just a short question,
Sure.
maybe not a question. I think it's not a question whether it's a trend or a future. It's a new normal. I think we all, I believe you all, this is a new normal to keep constantly educating ourselves. And now it has become so available and so normal that we will continue doing that.
All right, thank you for your answers. There's one more, even maybe two more. A very private one. So why didn't you choose just a formal education? What drew you forward to choose this career?
So after high school, you always have a choice to go standard route, to go to universities as majority and as traditions go on. But then there's this not standard one that you can go through the courses, that you can join different programs, projects, you can practice it and so on. And it was a tough decision because my whole family was like, no, you need that university. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. For the first 6 months, I actually went to university at the same time that I went to in Estonia. I was studying in both countries at the same time. As it was COVID, I could manage that. But at the end, I decided to stay in Estonia. I studied there for 2 years. And the difference was that in Estonia, I was practicing projects. It was project-based. So me, together with other students, we developed the project, and then we moved to the next project, and so on. And then in the meanwhile, those projects got a little harder and harder, so you learned more in depth. And that's why I actually chose it, because I had actually more practice over just theoretical stuff that I had in university.
Is there anything to add for you, Aurora? Yes, please.
Okay, as I said before, I graduated in graphic design, but I'm not a very studious person. So after I graduate, I immediately decided to go to work because I want to, be independent from my parents and manage my stuff. And so I started to work in a typography in a factory. But I wasn't happy here, and I didn't find any support outside. As she already said, that you have two choices: go to university or find another non-conforming path. And fortunately, I have the occasion to take part to the Erasmus+. Yes, it could be really, really difficult to join the IT field, the high expansion to this type of field, just going in the formal path. Because as I can notice, at least in Italy, the schools and the university are more focused on in the theoretical part of things. There are some professional institutes that also is looking for a more practical way, but it's more professionalizing, okay? And for this, a lot of students just give up studying because I can study every day, remember all the things, but after I give the exam, the test, I didn't remember anything of what I've learned because I didn't put it in action in the moment. So I think that there is this big gap between the educational system and the work world, let's say, that you have to be fueled with a will to learn on your own or to find another way of path, like courses, like Erasmus+, to give yourself the skills and the ability in the IT field to be able one day to enter in a company in this sector.
And one more question about the Erasmus Plus program. Did it help you find the tech specialty you wanted? So the certain tech specialty you're now, did it help you out in specifically Erasmus Plus program?
Okay, personally, yes, in that moment, yes, about the graphic design. Let's say I was able to acquire some skills that I didn't learn in school. A lot about also teamwork, a lot of this, and the way of thinking in a graphic design, because it's not just doing stuff, but also to think of it, to analyze it, and how to present to a public. So for this thing, yeah, it been more useful for me for, let's say, to get out of the fabric that I was in a typography and find a job where I was official graphic designer in it. So yeah, it gave me enough skills to...
You would advise for everybody else who's listening and who's young to go to these Erasmus Plus possibilities, that they will give you this more wider perspective and understanding what you want to do. And I think, Gunda, you agree with that? That
Yeah,
Erasmus Plus is very
I totally
beneficial.
agree. I really like the Erasmus Plus opportunities because they're so different, and you can just test out, like go for the 2 weeks, understand what it is, learn a little bit more in depth, but understand if that's actually for you, because not everything is for you. And for example, IT field is so wide that maybe you like programming more than doing actually hardware stuff. So in these projects, you can actually test whether you like it or not. And also you gain some practical knowledge or practice as well a little bit. So you can actually feel it or write the code or something. So yeah.
It's a very wide topic, and now there's a very general question as well. We already started to speak about it. So what personal qualities should a person have to pursue career in IT?
Yeah, I can answer it from company's perspective because we run this survey every year. And you might be surprised, it's not the programming skills on the top. The first is actually the critical thinking and the design thinking. The next comes your ability to learn new things and adapt to changes. The third one is the command work and your responsibility for the tasks that you are performing. So I would say they are more strategic and, let's say, entrepreneurial skills. Yeah, of course you need to have this then different tools depending on the company field, depending on the product, either their network or programming or whatever. But actually, and also what was said before, that some jobs will disappear, it's probably that the low-level programming jobs will disappear because this will be replaced by artificial intelligence. So what I can suggest for all students or for people looking in their job in ICT sector, you really need to develop these higher-level skills that companies are looking for.
I would like to comment a little bit about this. I completely understand that for success of education, it's critical actually to find the balance between theoretical and practical skills. And the reason for that is actually exactly this. If you want to be able to quickly adopt the new technologies, new knowledge, new skills, actually, you have to reach a proper level of theoretical background. But it's not the point to focus on remembering a huge amount of information. That's actually completely wrong approach when you say theoretical knowledge. It's actually basic algorithmic fundamentals on something, for example, artificial intelligence, that you have, for example, mathematical elements you need that you are able actually to produce something in creative way. That means that you can develop new algorithms based on some previous that. And then you can go and practically apply solving some problem, for example, in healthcare systems or self-driving cars or whatever you need. So the problem of formal education right now, the first thing is we don't have ties with industry, because industry is first line in the market demand, so it's defining skills is necessary. And I have actually questions for students. Can you compare formal and informal education? Which part actually contribute your skills more? And actually, when you formally graduated, doesn't matter which level of graduation, and you jump into your first job, can you just express in some kind of percentage how you feel? Can you actually fit the requests from other side, and how many months or years of practical experience working actually you need to be able actually to independently respond to market demands and earn money without some supervising or teamwork with more experienced colleagues? That's actually some kind of feedback we need right now.
Okay, so when I started working at the beginning, I tried, I feel very scared, of course. Okay, it was the first time working. And the things that I was be more, I can say, worried about it was to be more be precise in what I was doing to arrive at the right time and to ask much questions as possible to understand what the company wanted from me, and what, and of course, if I cannot give them what they wanted, how can I learn to fill this gap? So it takes me a few times at the beginning to be completely independent. In my first job, let's say, it was quite easy, to be honest. So in 2-3 months, I was almost ready to be lived alone and doing all the stuff. But this depends, of course, from the company to company, because where I'm now, I've been really, really fortunate, to be honest, to apply and to be get. But because I didn't have any type of skills in the field. Okay, I didn't know anything about servers. I didn't know anything about RAMs, networking. Completely zero. I just have a big passion about it, and the will to learn how to do the work, how to grow in it. So asking questions, it's because the skills can be learned, can be teaching, but the propositive effort, the will to want to know, the curiosity to do things, to ask questions, and to achieve more in what you're doing every day. These are soft skills that you are going to develop independently from, let's say, formal education and also informal education, okay? It's something about experience and something about the approach that you have in the work and in the relationship also that you have with other people and teams that you meet every day. So it's something that it's teachable, but there have to be a will to do it, to search for it. And I think that the growth mindset, let's call it like that, it's something that the company, as I can say, they are searching for it, because as I already said, skills can learn, can teach, but the approach, it's personal, and it can lead you more forward than just know how to code and That's it.
So you have to be very proactive
Yeah,
in
a lot.
every fields of the study.
Yes.
And if you have questions, you just go and ask them. And if you have proposals and you want to, and you're willing to help the company, you just go and talk.
Yes.
And here was as well a question which you already touched right now about that there's still a lot of this old school thinking that firstly you need a paper and as well you need this years of experience. But as you already told us, that the first thing is to be proactive and very actively to search for. But is it really possible about the companies? Maybe I have a question for you. So what is the first thing you look on the potential employee? You're looking firstly maybe on the paper and then on his personality. Maybe you can give us a wider perspective on this.
As we work closely with young people, with a community of 10,000 young people with interest in technology, I can assure you that the things have changed. So if I was at school, normally it would be I would finish a school, I would graduate university, and then I would start looking for a job. This is over. The reality is you're still at school, you start working. Not in McDonald's. You start freelancing, practicing some projects online, and if you are now a student here and you're at university and you don't have any practical experience and you think you're gonna make your career in IT, I can disappoint you, because when you graduate, there will be people who will have 5-year experience already on the year when you graduate, your age people with 5-year experience, because they started already at school. And this is normal. We have young people, 16, 17, 18 years old, from Bauska, from Rezekne, from Liepāja, already working and making good money and having really good skills. And one day you will be 20, 21 years old. I don't know if they choose to go to university, because they will have really good offers from companies because they have good skills. And that is the question, that is the answer. When they go to an interview, they ask for skills. In IT industry, the paper is only one part of what but the reality is the skill. So if you can show your portfolio, your links to your projects, this is what actually matters for employees and for companies.
Yes.
So I like to complement what Angela just said, but maybe a little bit different perspective. Really, when our companies are looking for job applications, they first look at the experience. So do you have already previous job experience at your competencies? But then it's not so that the graduation paper is not evaluated. It is evaluated, and actually many IT companies, and I would say the good companies, yeah, they even support their students to go into universities. Actually, we were fighting for 5 years with Ministry of Finance that if company pays for higher education for their employees, that they enter bachelor or master's program, that you can get it like a tax, how do you say, reduction, yeah, not pay extra social tax, yeah. On many companies are giving free holidays for exam periods for their existing young people to go into studies, yeah, they're giving some development, so you get this lot of after entering trainings, both professional trainings, but also formal trainings.
Thank you.
I have one comment actually here, because I'm completely aware of all these perspectives. Some kind of trend in this discussion actually is that formal education importance actually is declining, because there are many ways today on the internet actually to collect skills. But whatever companies say right now, okay, experience is indicator, but actually we're employing people if we are company because of their skills and knowledge. So doesn't matter how you collect that. The reason why we open our mind actually to avoid formal certification is because actually formal certification doesn't fit to real requirements of company in many, many ways today. Since actually Nikola Tesla started working before 100 years on experiments, there is no example in human society that one field as education didn't have any significant reformation. The world changed, digital technologies appeared, internet appeared, people send space shuttles to the moon. but actually education is mostly still now based on green board and white chicks, and you know, you have a lot of books you need to read, remember, and then to try to reproduce that. And this kind of focusing is completely killed by first moment, in the historical moment of killing this kind of skills is appearing of Google. Why I have to remember something, because I can just type and find. Even more dangerous moment is ChatGPT, because it's not just finding facts, but actually machines can summarize and understand the facts. So what actually is the space for people in the era of artificial intelligence? And that's the question. I will just remind you that actually the basic concept of education is directed to analysis. So you have some inputs, then you have a solution framework, and you need to calculate outputs or reproduce outputs. Completely wrong. We need actually to do something what is USA much better compared to Europe. So you have inputs, and we have outputs we want. We want solution. Create the solution path. So that's creativity. It's not possible to use artificial intelligence for that. Just to clarify that I have right to stop possible discussion. ChatGPT is not capable to create another ChatGPT or its better version. And that's the limit of artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much. And about the ChatGPT, I have as well a comment. There have been as well people who are chatting with other persons, and then they use as well ChatGPT. And in the end, what you get is not that person really answering you, but you're already maybe not knowing you're chatting within AI. And I really hope that no other person I have been chatting is not using this, because for ethical standards, it's not ethical from that person. I don't feel anymore that it's you, it's ChatGPT, and you're not telling me that I'm chatting already with that person. But sometimes in a work conditions, it works out well, but if it's more emotional about private things, then it's really not fair to myself.
I want to jump with one important notice. Also, we need to understand what people in Europe needs for which kind of skills actually we need for a living. This is not only to traditional information remembering what we are doing right now, but for example, we don't have fundamentals of personal finances. I think that's a great topic for elementary school, because people are not capable actually to manage the money. Basic knowledge about legislation, because that's very critical. We can create by using artificial intelligence whatever we want. But actually, some applications are prohibited. Is completely expressed by European Union Artificial Intelligence Act, adopted before 2 months. And doesn't matter if you are a great engineer, you have skills. You cannot create social tracking system and use artificial intelligence for that. You remember the situation with Cambridge Analytics for USA election. Actually, that was artificial intelligence manipulating election process at the will of people. And actually, you have a perfect advisor illegally using my personal data to do actually you do my personal mapping, and you can read my feeling, and you can say to politicians, go to this city and say that this thing is wrong, but another city you say that that thing is great, because majority of people there will support you with this, in another city is completely different opinion. And you can manipulate the process. So we really need to understand things a little bit broader way, and that's actually is creative thinking and actually skill that companies and institutions need.
Looking for this creative skill, how to use it. Yes, and Miliana.
Thank you so much. I wanted to make a comment on formal education, because it's very important to think on how can formal education institution react on labor demands and on the changing of the society we're living in. And I would say that maybe formal education will be relevant as long as it adjusted accordingly to the labor market needs. needs and what the society as such wants to achieve, as you rightfully said. And I would say that young people now are offered with so many possibilities with non-formal education and informal education that is more relevant to the demands that labor market has, and that's why it's a great path to use those opportunities in order to really be relevant and have more chances to gain employment much faster, or to maybe try and see what it suits you as a young person. I wanted also to maybe make a comment on who are those employers and who are those young people that are searching and looking to find new opportunities for skill development. And you mentioned that for many young people it's a choice that you need to maybe choose between universities and some other paths, but there are some young people who are being left out because of various situations, and I think that it's important to also offer opportunities for those who are neither in training or employed or in education system, and these programs like Erasmus Plus or other schemes can really offer a lot of support to those young people that are now maybe being left out of the labor market or education system, and they're existing all over Europe, not only in less developed countries in Europe. So I think that we shouldn't only speak about the best among the best, but also to be aware of others and be aware of all the possibilities after maybe growing old. And you mentioned lifelong learning and why it's important. I would say that you, in order to become relevant and in order to have skills that are that have demand at the labor market, you really need to pay attention to all the changes that are happening. But I would say, for example, in Serbia, policies sometimes fail to adjust in a timely manner, and although there is a need for students to work, for example, a lot of faculties and universities don't really provide those people opportunities to really work and study because of the heavy load of curricular activities, obligatory presence at the faculty classes, etc. So we also need to adjust formal education and in their work in order for young people to really have time to gain practical experiences and to value those practical experiences also within the formal education. We are now testing in Serbia dual higher education. We established at the lower level of education this kind of approach, and I would say that it can really bring some good results because it combines theoretic and practical experience, which is much needed for their career development and future work.
I will just add one thing related to Serbia, because maybe actually Serbia stepped in very nice first step to change that, actually establishing science technology parks, actually bringing businesses and companies close to university and professors and students, actually the same location. And this co-location is actually critical because it's practical. People start meeting each other, you know, learning about each other, collaborating. Actually, companies can offer some hardware and software tools to support education progress and also can be involved in education progress. So this kind of reformation is great. Also for science, not only for education. For example, if you have PhD students and doing great scientific work and great scientific papers, in perspective, you can provide some legal support for professors, supervisor, and PhD students to protect the knowledge by patents and then spin off into some kind of startups, and you can incubate these startups, and everything can happen actually in the same building. This kind of collocation is maybe also great thing and actually already proving that actually it's worth of investment.
Yeah, these tech hubs are very popular already for the past 10 years, and in that ways it's still very, very important that this physical closeness to each other really works out very well, and you can make really surprising projects and as well advances in this. So, but I have a question for Angela. We already touched it, and there's a question that it assumes that schools fail to teach modern IT skills today. Is that really true?
We can ask later the colleagues from other countries, but that definitely is true for Latvia. But I'm really happy to see that our government has adopted our educational standards, and 3 years ago we introduced compulsory digital skills and coding subjects in schools. And before I switch to the topic of this question, I would like to comment that this is the first conference on AI ever I have attended with such a skeptical attitude towards artificial intelligence. Really, let's maybe split two important parts. One is opportunities that AI can offer us in medicine, in finance, education, whatsoever field. And the second part is our responsibility on the use of AI, ethical issues, safety, and many other aspects of that. So let's not scare the young people from the opportunities that it can offer us. And if we speak in terms of it's already doing so much, AI can do so many tasks that we don't need to do anymore. It's like we're saying, let's ride a horse when you have a Tesla standing next to you. You know, we have to differentiate which situation we are in and be able to use the tool, because it's the tool. And the most important thing is the person's intention that you use the tool for. So let's raise our young generation responsible, human, understanding, trustful, and so on, for all these papers that you had on your Marcos presentation. Let's focus on having real human beings and empower them with the tools we have developed, because we can develop the tools and we have already really powerful tools here. And getting back to the education. So once Latvia introduced this compulsory subjects in schools, what do you think happened? Before that, our teachers used to teach PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. These were 3 subjects in informatics. And now suddenly they had to become front-end, back-end programmers. They had to teach clouds, collaboration tools, all kind of other modern tools. And as a company working in this field, in a week, I received 17 phone calls from 17 schools in Latvia asking one simple question. Don't you have a coder who can teach us 2 hours of coding per week? So once this happened, I said, okay, we got to do something. Can I ask now Dirts to switch on the slide that I showed? Yes. So 4 years ago, we started with a pilot project helping schools to teach coding at school. This is the 4th year we're running the project, and now we have 84 schools. These all are public schools. Across the country, you can see the map, and below you see 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the grades. You can see the number of students by grades. We are teaching now coding, advanced coding, basic digital skills, and physics, because physics also have trouble with teachers. Look at the slide with the gender, with the blue and red. 7, 8, 9 is a compulsory subject at school. You cannot choose, you just have to take it. 10, 11, and 12, you can choose which path you go in your high school, whether you choose coding, math, medicine, biology, or any other direction. As long as girls can choose, they don't choose IT. You see, they drop they drop the coding courses. The numbers go down. That's why I'm really happy to see these ladies here who represent actually a minority in IT, because only 20% of women in Europe now work in IT sector. We really need to work on that. And for me, as a mother of 3 daughters, this is a touchy issue. I'm always pushing for girls to be able to choose and to get familiar with technology at a very early age. Maybe you think this is some stereotype, it's not true anymore. It is true. Last year, my daughter said, I know how to croquet, I know how to knit, I want to go with the boys to do some technical drawing and make a chair. What do you think happened? She was refused. She said, no, this is for boys only. 2022. Reality in Riga. And this is the State Gymnasium, one of the top 3 schools in Latvia. So this is the stereotype is very, very in us still. And we have to open the eyes and let the girls think. So, do schools fail? Yes, they fail. Why? Because the teachers don't have the experience themselves yet. And by the way, Latvia is a champion. Latvia has the worst demographical situation in the world for teachers. This was announced recently by the World Forum. We have highest average age for teachers. Let me tell you two numbers. 89% of all teachers in Latvia are women. More than half of them is older than 50 years old. So what do you think? With all respect to the teachers that work at schools now, these elderly ladies or these ladies who work at schools now, they don't use technology. They are not role models. They are not used to use on a daily basis computer, laptop, planchette, or a phone to solve their daily tasks. So they cannot teach that to their students. And this is the question, this is the answer to your question. Do we fail? Yes, at the moment we fail. And how we solved it in 4 years with this project, we are bringing coders to schools using technologies. So this is a hybrid education. Students are sitting in schools in different cities, and we have a team with a teacher and assistants and moderators and supporters who is delivering the lesson. It is live lesson, and we have developed a special system, our own bot, who tracks performance of each student. It tracks academic progress, it tracks engagement, sentiment, so we have all the data, and for this is how we solve it. We bring industry into schools, and this is the link that we need, because the technology is developing so fast that schools are lagging behind, and universities are lagging behind, because universities' accreditation period is 6 years. It's like, in 6 years in IT, one language can appear and disappear already. So it's way too long. So the public-private partnership has to come together, and this is a successful example of our team.
Thank you very much, Angela. And before that, we were about this non-skeptical thinking, about this open-minded thinking, but there was a comment that the still skeptical thinking maybe gave us as well some of the best solutions in technology. That's more like a comment, because maybe, we should be very open to it, but sometimes even this skeptical or not very positive thinking still can bring us towards a new technological solutions, maybe that we haven't thought before. All right, and then there's a lot more questions interesting about the students and as well job givers. How to gain work experience if companies want workers with work experience? So what is the short advice from you? So how to get the experience, please?
Yes, I think that internships are a very useful tool, useful opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, apprenticeship, trainership, so to connect education with labor market as soon as possible, and to facilitate this transition while students are enrolled in education system. I would say that that's the best, and to recognize, as from the point of view of formal education, to recognize this kind of work. So to be obligatory and mandatory, and support students when they are in need of flexible schedule, or they need some more time for research and to do projects that are very relevant for the study that they are attending.
Yeah, maybe what we are doing from ICT industry perspective, first of all, yes, it's internships, it's practices, because students, when they're studying at universities, they have different periods of practices. Summer practice or half a year practice, yeah. But if you talk about earlier ages, then actually there are a lot of possibilities also for school-age children, like you have these ICT career days or shadow days, where many companies invite kids actually starting from age of 8 or 10 that you can come, you can see how the profession looks so that you have some touch of this. Yeah. Then there are also, let's say, longer periods where you can create some small projects, and because companies need the workforce and they need it extremely, yeah, then they do it as social responsibility, many activities around this. And this is one way that we also encourage young people to write in your CVs. You don't need just to think that you had a formal job, but you might be volunteering, you might be involved in some youth projects or in, let's say, work-based learning, and this is actually which creates your CV already. And when you are coming for first formal job, it's still considered and it's very much valued.
Thank you very much, and Alexander has a
one
to add.
short, actually it's not comment, it's personal story of my experience, just to help people to imagine what we can expect in education for 10 years or maybe a little bit more. My friends actually got kids, 10 years, 10 months old. And at some point, kid, barely walking, no speaking, no writing, no skills, small baby. Took Android, unlocked perfectly, found YouTube and cartoons in front of my eyes. Okay, this generation is coming with third-hand smartphones. We need to educate generation coming, so let's think about a little bit. Let's rethink everything, actually.
Can I comment
Yes,
one more?
please, Angela.
So one more way to get a practical experience is also hackathons, makeathons, game jams, all kind of possible incubators where you work together in teams. This is the best way you can get, and the more you participate, the better, because this is how you get your hands dirty, this is how you get the job done, this is how you actually meet the first problems of other team members screwing you up, and that's in this small environment, not in the big one when you get paid for that and you get punished for that, right?
Yeah, I want to add, from candidates' perspective, as I was looking for the job in this autumn, and I went through exactly the same. I had never had any job experience, and I just wanted to get in the industry where I didn't even have a degree. So I participated in a lot of these Erasmus projects, where I added also what I was doing, how I was working with the teams, and when in the interview there came the question so what's your experience, or how do you know you have the skills, or how are you gonna work with a team together? And in Estonia, we practice the project-based learning. We develop projects in the different teams all the time, and that's what I explained to them. I told that what kind of methods we tried, what kind of styles we tried, what technologies we used, and so on. And they were very surprised that we did it based on in that program, and they really validated that. And about the hackathons, I completely agree. I have participated in many hackathons, and there's always amazing, you gain amazing friends, and you challenge yourself even more, and you learn new things as well, and that's all the new experience that you can definitely mention in the interviews, and they will like it. The more you do, the more they will like you. That's what I gained from the interviews.
So yeah, more job given in, more better outcomes as well coming out. And as well as you talked about the hackathons and all those places where you still physically gather together, which is very...
Not always.
Not always, yeah?
This is a perception of maybe, again, our generation that we need to get together. I can tell you an example. We had a project working on for 2 years. At some point, we never met. We only talked, actually without the cameras, we only talked with our voices for 2 years on a very interesting project. At some point, we realized that one of the teams, one of the member of our team is disabled person. We didn't know it for 2 years. He has problems with the movements, he has problems with speaking, but his head is working, he was coding together with us. It sounds maybe ridiculous, but it works, and it's not we don't always need to get together. Young generation thinks of this differently. and accepts the fact that we can meet once a month together, but meanwhile save the time traveling back and forward and spend this time productively on working together with these great tools that we have, again, technology is helping us being more productive.
Thank you for your response. Here's a comment and as well question from a former teacher. So what is a responsible AI use? Maybe you have a comment on this. What is responsible AI use?
I have experience in tech regulation, so responsible use. Actually, we can think about artificial intelligence two ways. One is what is legal and what is ethical. And there are many questions we need actually to discuss depending of the problem we are solving using artificial intelligence. I will give you a few examples. So first thing, I will just remind you on a few examples of prohibited artificial intelligence applications. So it's not allowed, it's illegally completely with very high level penalties. If you use artificial intelligence to create cyber attacks, for, to disturb cybersecurity systems, if you use for social scoring, if you watched Black Mirror on Netflix, you remember one episode is social scoring, the lady trying to buy a house in some elite quarter district in the city. So it's not allowed to use that, especially to apply artificial intelligence on our profiles in social media. What is right now very critical? Cambridge Analytics and elections in USA. That's very tricky right now. There are a few other applications. This is what is prohibited. Also, you have high-risk applications, which could be, could provide some kind of danger to our lives. Self-driving cars. This is a hot topic right now. Technology is already here, more than 10 years. The problem is, we need 99.99999% to be sure that our lives are safe inside. Even it's 10,000 better than any human driver. But people, this is our perspective. This is what actually means to be a human being, We want to have control. We don't want to leave our control. Even this machine is much better than us. Another problem, what if something happened wrong? It's about responsibility. Because if you have a situation that this car actually kills somebody, who's going to court? Vendor? Driver who is actually not driver, just sitting there, reading newspaper? Or the guy who creates artificial intelligence algorithm, but if I'm driving this car 4 years, actually, artificial intelligence algorithm evolves with new data collecting depending on my driving style, on the environment and everything. So this is not the same algorithm and same environment and same system as at the beginning of using the car. Who is responsible? We're still waiting for few answers. And in that concept, actually, we postponed actually some applications. Doesn't matter if we have technology ready.
That's very, very responsible. Happy to hear from you that you're doing such a good job. We have a comment.
Yes, since you said it's a teacher asking the question, I can comment on educational, since I've been to 2 events from European Commission where we discussed ethical use, responsibility, and application of AI in education. It is really going now there that we need to educate our young generation that this is a machine, what you said. This is not a human being, that you can't always trust a machine. Maybe yet, maybe not yet. We don't know how it's going to develop. But what I see, the trend is now that we are going to have closed systems, so small clones of ChatGPT, controlled versions to be for smaller kids, to train how to prompt them, how to use them, how to work with them. At some point, when they're old enough, when they have their own opinion and critical understanding of the real world situation, they can start using a new one. The same like you have Google Family restricted version of YouTube Kids version, then you go to the adult version. The same will happen with AI tools. And this is, again, a huge market, huge responsibility, huge thing in the education. education is changing. It's not going to change. It's already changed. So the teacher is no longer the person who will deliver the information. Machine can do that very well. It can be pre-recorded, it can be generated. We don't need somebody to tell us what is Newton's law or what is a chemical reaction. We can read it, we can listen to that, we can watch the video. It's available. The teacher's role nowadays is the teacher needs to motivate, engage, inspire, show the fabulous ways of any subject that he has so that the student can actually use all the available information and be ready to search for this information and know the sources and trustful sources and trustful resources and machines to be able to proceed in math, in physics, in biology, medicine, on any other subjects. So we are changing now, and if you've seen during the COVID times that the talking heads of teachers, you know, you all have been there, right? You have kids, you know, there's a 40-minute talking head. This is not working because this talking head is one swipe away on your device from TikTok, from Reels, from YouTube Shorts, from anything others that is so colorful, interesting, that we cannot no longer just stand in front of the class and talk. So the teacher's role nowadays is hands-on. We will engage, we will teach our children to be creative, happy, trustful, again, all those things that we have discussed here before.
Thank you very much. So teachers have to be a little bit like entertainers now, I think.
Influencers.
Yeah, so teachers have to do a lot more now in our days. So hopefully we'll get that pay rise as well, like Estonians do, and as well Latvians. And yeah, a little bit still for our students. This AI question was as well meant for you about the responsible AI use. What is your responsible AI use, shortly?
Okay. My responsible use of AI specifically is for when I have to searching for some topic, but you know, I don't have so much time to spend on searching all the internet page and find extra things that I need. So I just ask, hey, tell me more about this, and just summarize it for me. But you know, for it's make my work easy in searching and put my effort in searching, find the right one, and searching for another, go, no, this is not going well, searching for another one. So in this way, I can put my effort in studying it, what the chat summarized for me, and use it for my purpose. So I put more effort in the action of using it, and not in the effort and the time for searching for it.
So mostly for searching reasons, for searching for your certain study subjects you're doing. And Gota, what is your answer for it? Just a moment. The responsible AI use. What is it for you?
So I was studying in Estonia for 2 years. The first year it was without AI. And it usually was like 20 tabs open, and you search one article, the second article, and so on. Then ChatGPT came, and then the searching process became a lot easier for asking simple questions. For example, what is that? Or how does this work? Give me example of this and this. That works perfectly. I still use it sometimes, and it's great. However, when I work, the work systems are very complicated and large, and there's a lot of information, and you need very, very specific information. In those cases, you just can't ask the AIs to help you unless they know the whole code. And you never give the AI the whole code because everyone will have that, basically. So the AI right now, I use it at the work, but very, very carefully, and just to ask like a simple things.
So that's a very interesting thing. You said that you cannot trust it, AI, to keep your secrets. So on the keeping secrets, don't tell it to AI. He's a big, big mouth, so everybody else will know after you will ask the question.
If I just may add, I think it's responsible use is more important for social sciences, for example, since the AI collects the information that is available, and we have sometimes very biased available opinions, attitudes, facts that are not really facts, but interpretations of the stuff that happened. So I think that it's important also to educate young people that it's not true everything that is summarized by AI, so that they really keep the critical thinking skills when they're using AI tools, and having this understanding and awareness that especially for some philosophical standpoints and important historic facts and other things that can be maybe a trigger for some people, to be aware that it's based on the knowledge that we as human beings have, and that sometimes isn't very objective or truthful.
We have as well a comment.
I'll just give you a few very easy answers. Can we trust artificial intelligence? No. Because I have another question for our audience. How many people actually understands how artificial intelligence really works? Some experience here with working on that. I will just give you a short story, 1 minute or two. I will try to be quick as possible. Actually, artificial intelligence is like a kid. Okay, just imagine that. And you want to raise kid, and you teach kids, some values, some skills, etc. So it's a data set. You bring some data set, some information, some historical experiences inside, and try to train artificial intelligence, and then artificial intelligence will respond, calculating the probability that this combination of inputs is the most similar of something I already learned from the training. Okay, 80% is this, and I will give you the answer. First thing, artificial intelligence will never say, I don't know. They will calculate the most probable combination and then say, okay, this is the answer. Even if this probability is like 17%, and there is no any sense, because all other combinations are even worse. The real truth is that artificial intelligence is not trained for that. But I will never say, sorry, I don't know. No, I always have answer. This is the first thing. Another thing, whatever you input inside will be used as additional training. And that's the reason why OpenAI company give us ChatGPT for free. As we are using more and more, we are training their machines more and more. After also OpenAI took the whole internet right now as a data set for the training. Right now in USA, there is a court case that New York Times actually sued ChatGPT for unauthorized using articles of New York Times, historical articles, to train and use as a knowledge, because now ChatGPT actually answering using the same sentences, without saying this is the source and references from New York Times. If you use ChatGPT to put your secret, confidential company data, okay, can you please check my finances? There are huge probabilities that at some point ChatGPT will publish your sensitive data somewhere. Another thing, if you say ChatGPT, please create graphics, you are not, you don't have copyright on that. You are not author. You cannot, you must not create scientific article using ChatGPT. It's plagiarism. It's very clear. So this is just a few important points I want that all of us have takeaways from today. Just remember that whatever you put inside is not anymore yours.
Yeah, there was just a question, and you answered it about the trust for these free. There was like this big adjustment on the free use
and
of
of
AI
course,
tools.
Sorry, you cannot say that if you decide because ChatGPT lied to you and you did something wrong, you cannot say it's not me, it's artificial intelligence. No.
It raises a question, so you cannot really fully trust AI. That's the answer. But there's like these free AI tools, and then there's these tools which you can use by money. Maybe you can trust those AI tools better.
Maybe I don't comment so much about money, but also about money. But basically, what is AI? It's still computer simulation and some model built within it. So basically, the output is as good as you provide the input. And input means that you track all the cases, all the possible behaviors, all the possible answers, and then you have calculating the results or the result what the AI gives to you. Yeah, and of course that's also talking about skills. First of all, you need to know the field for which you develop the AI solution very well. Yeah, you need to train it with different kind of users, be it medical solution or some security solution. I'm not talking only about the languages models here, yeah, but even for languages model, it will be as good as you train it. Yeah, so this is something. And then of course, if you have some paid versions, it means that the companies who are developers, yeah, or actually even the field representatives who need to add additional and train this AI, so this your output is correct, this is not correct. Yeah, we had this about robots if they are happy. So basically they're happy if all their predictions and all their results are correct. Yeah, in computer language. So that of course requires sometimes money. It's not necessarily always that the paid versions are more trustful by the free versions, but in some ways they are trustful not because of the money, but because you have involved professionals in the training of the AI. That is the difference, yeah, because the free version, exactly as you said, as we use, it comes more and more content and input from us, but not always we are professionals.
Thank you very much. Are there anything else to add? Or so there's as well a question. We were already touching that topic. You were speaking about your experience about the already infants using the IT technology. So about the schools. So we should. What do you think? We should start learning IT skills in school already from the first class, like from the 6-7 years old of age. We do it already. I see that. And so all of you agree, or you have some comments here on that?
After Alexander's example, you understand that at first grade, this
late.
is a 4 or 5 year experience user already. This is not when we start. We continue.
We shouldn't start from first class, but already starting from the infant age.
But also maybe trainings for parents in order to actually be aware of how can they, since earlier, teach their kids.
And this is a very important issue you're touching, because the role models, we are the role models for our children. We need to show them how to be, kā pateikt latviski, jēgpilni. Meaningful use of technology. So if you are sitting at home with your earbuds in, watching Netflix or playing, some dummy game on phone, and the kid is experiencing this is a normal for your kid. So if you will show him how you are using your phone to set up a meeting, to do some meaningful things, he will take it up. So you are the one responsible for your kids' habits online.
Thank you. We are approaching 1 o'clock in Central Time of Europe. It's 12 o'clock, so we're approaching the midday. And we have discussed most of the topics. And I hope all the viewers here in the hall and as well on the television side, I like to call it the television side, got to know more about the AI in the future. And the students as well, you are very welcomed. And as you understand, you have to be very proactive as well. If you're even very good in programming still, if you're not active socially, then you just need to get that friend who helps you out to get out in the field. I think that's one of the main things and criteria is how to achieve a lot in your life, and as well give for our civilization the good things we can do. Because I think, the best thing is to do the good deeds and to make the AI as good as it's possible, because it's like a mirror of the humanity, I think, in some ways, the AI which we will create and creating right now. And so for our television viewers, this is it for today's conference. We're ending up here. I would like to thank you, Gunta Kļava, Aurora Giovanne, Angela Jafora, Alexandra Matkovic, Miliana Page, and Mara Jakobsson, and we'll see you on the next conferences. But here at this place, this is not the end. We're having a short coffee and juice pause for about 15 minutes, because now we will have the workshops. So we will have 2 places you choose where to go. And we are here, we have the specific thing. We have to leave the feedback. Before you quit as well the television broadcasting here, please scan the QR code to leave the feedback of this IT conference, the questions we still did it, and what questions we should do in the future conferences. Thank you very much. Thank you very much again from me. And now we have a short 15-minute pause before we're going to workshops. And just a moment, I'll tell you about the workshops a little bit more. So there will be a workshop from Marko Nagel, social media marketing at schools and public sector. You have to choose. And the other one will be a round table discussion, which will be led by Mr. Mihailo, about navigating future learning, young people's expectations and experiences. That will be on the round table. So see you in 15 minutes, and then we'll discuss more which of the workshops you are more willing to join, because they will go parallelly in time. Thank you, and see you again. Bye-bye.